time. They're headed by Golf at 50-1 Nicky Mackay, Shabanak 9-1 joint favourite Kieran Fallon, 25-1 Romany Prince and Kevin Darley, Saltrio and Shane Kelly at 66-1. Unleashed Jamie Spencer 25-1, 33 Sunbird and Paul Hannigan. Pat Eddery on Landing Light at 12-1, Big Moment for Mick Cannan at 25-1. English Drever, Seb Sanders at 12-1 for Sir Mark Prescott, looking for the autumn double here. Flown Away at 33-1, Frankie Dettori, Court Sharif and Robert Miles at 50-1, and at 14s is Distant Prospect and Martin Dwyer. Ryan Moore on last year's winner again, Miss Farah 20-1, 25-1 Random Quest and Luke Fletcher, Zebulin and Tony Hamilton at 25s, also 25s Raven Glance and Richard Hughes. Brett Doyle is on Dewari at 66-1, Archduke Ferdinand and Franny Norton at 16-1, Direct Bearing 9-1 joint favourite, last year's runner-up Pat Smullen, Fourth Dimension and Richard Mullen at 66-1. Stephen Drown on Tom Paddington at 66-1. At 14s Numitas in a blue cap Daryl Holland, Singapore and Philip Robinson at 12-1, and Gig Harbour and Simon Whitworth at 66-1. Don Fernando, John Egan's mount at 20-1, 50-1 Tickram and Ted Durkin. Bob Slay for Lisa Jones at 66-1, 10 carat. Gamble of the race 12-1, Willie Supple in the saddle on 10 carat. High Point and David Kinsler at 100-1, trained by the best Gary Barbwell at 100-1. Positive Profile, Royston French at 33s, at 50s is Christensen and Frankie McDonald. And I promise we're nearly there now. Establishment and Alan Mackay at 25-1. 33s it's Definite Dean Myrna, Dubai 7 Stars and Jamie Mackay at 66-1. And Mr. Nando, Sam Hitchcock on a 14-1.
The market mover is leaving this creature at the bottom on the course, Mr. Nando. It's been 14-1, it's now into 10-1, this Mr. Nando. It was a 22-1 chance this morning, that Mr. Nando, and Sam Hitchcock putting up £3 overweight on it, can't claim his allowance. Other money, Landing Light, good support for Pat Eddery's horse, very solid at 12-1. But English Trevor, that's an opposed in the market now, 12-1 out to 16-1 for Sir Mark.
Philip Robinson, and they jump away then for the Tote Cesarewitch. 36 runners leaving the stores. Singapore on the extreme wide outside, expecting Saltro to be up with the leaders. Raven Glass also as well. Landing Light will be far over on the inside and is dropped out in the early stages. And in the early stages, it looks to be it's Dubai 7 Stars right up with the pace. Dubai 7 Stars with Unleashing a White Cap right there as well. It's Definite is in the leading bunch at this early stage as they race through the first quarter mile. So Dubai 7 Stars and also 10 carats Pink Cap. You can just see bobbing away in the leading bunch. Dubai 7 Stars, Unleashed 10 carat, Bobsleigh a little wide. Wider still in the blue cap is English Drever, and then up the inside is Raven Glass. They're followed by Numitas in a blue cap on the fence. Tikram is handy as well, and there's one racing very wide indeed. I fancy it was Singapore, in fact, from stall 1. Is either out of control or searching for better ground, but it's very wide on the track from the other main body of the field as they continue to make their way towards their one and only turn. Dubai 7 Stars, Unleashing the White Cap, 10 carats. There's the horse wide from the others. It could be Singapore as they make their way through the running gap towards their one and only turn. Singapore it is. There he is, the blue and yellow striped jacket there for the Martin Pipe team. Philip Robinson, often a shrewd tactician. He's now joining the other runners as they race towards their turn then. And so it's Dubai 7 Stars that leads the way. From Raven Glass on the inside of Unleashing 10 carat and Singapore close up, Bobsleigh, and just in behind these Archduke Ferdinand and It's Definite, and then Numitas on the rail. Tikram follows these. Shabanak is not far off them as well. They're tending to race up the centre of the track. Big Moment on the right in the blue and yellow jacket is handy. On the extreme right in the orange, Gig Harbour is up with them as well. In the midfield, Positive Profile in a red cap. Embankment is towards the rear. Saltro is in the midfield. On the right, High Point in a striped jacket, and trained by the best and Flown Away towards the rear as they race towards the stand side now in this Tote Cesarewitch. The jockey's looking for the ground, the better ground here, and Dubai 7 Stars is joined up front now by Trained by the Best has come through. Then Unleashing 10 carat. Raven Glass is close. The blue cap of Numitas. Golf on the far side in the grey jacket. Romany Prince is much handier now. Nearest the camber, Singapore with English Drever. And then Archduke Ferdinand. Shuffled back is Sunbird. Bobsleigh, and on the near side, Big Moment still goes well under Mick Cannan. Looking for Landing Light. Can't see him at the moment as they run down towards the final 4.5 furlongs or so, and the lead is now held by Golf, the top weight. Singapore travels well. 10 Carat, Numitas, Romany Prince away to the left, making progress is Embankment through the pack as well. And they're followed by Unleashed. Shabanak in a green jacket is not far off them. On the extreme left, Dewari in the white headgear, as now they head towards the final 2.5 furlongs in the Tote Cesarewitch, and Golf still just about holds the advantage but comes under pressure. Over on the far side, coming there, Distant Prospect, the winner 2 years ago in the red cap. Also with the chances, Christensen and Embankment in the yellow jacket. And then coming towards the right on the stand side is Landing Light. And Landing Light and Pat Eddery may just be taking it over now as they race towards the final furlong. Landing Light and Pat Eddery. Pat's never won the Cesarewitch. On the far side is Christensen, then Distant Prospect. Behind these Sunbird, Tom Paddington, and Direct Bearing staying on. Landing Light on the near side from Christensen. Pat's going to win it. Landing Light will win the Cesarewitch. Christensen and Sunbird in a photo for second. Direct Bearing was across the line fourth, followed by Tom Paddington, and then behind those it looked as though it might have been flown away, or Mr. Nando in fact staying on well at the finish. They trail back in the end to Trained by the Best and Dubai 7 Stars, who made some of the early running. But Landing Light at 12-1. Well, he left it late enough, didn't he, old granddad, at the age of 51. It's taken him all these years to win a Cesarewitch, and finally he's done it in his last chance on the Nicky Henderson train. Landing Light in the colours of Mr. and Mrs. John Poynton. And no shrewder man here riding. He's come right across to the stands rail. Landing Light was drawn in stall 36, right on the inside at the start. At the finish, he's ended up on the right outside, under the stands rail. Pat Eddery looking for the best ground. And what a day he's having. His last Champions Day, just James in the Challenge Stakes, and now he wins the Cesarewitch, and there could be more to come.
Aboard Landing Light at 12-1. Second was number 6, Sunbird, 33-1. Third, number 32, Christensen at 50-1. Fourth, number 19, Direct Bearing at 8-1. The fifth horse, for your information, was Tom Paddington. The unplaced favourite was number 36, Mr. Nando at 7-1. All 36 rounds.